You know, one thing we were talking about here in the studio is how some people really campaign hard. You've been watching these presidential campaigns, and now you're seeing Obama and McCain, and they're out there, telling you what they want to do and telling you what's wrong with the other guy. But they're really trying hard to get you to vote for them. Anything's possible right now, you know? It's like opening day in baseball. Anything's possible. Doesn't matter if it's McCain or Obama. These guys are telling you that whatever has happened in the past few years, forget about that. It's all going to change. Everything's going to be great. And it's kind of that way with marriage, you know. Women are campaigning. Women are auditioning for the position. How many of you got that great girlfriend? You know the one I'm talking about. Sex anywhere, anytime. Oh, don't put that frying pan down. Let me make breakfast for you. Oh, here, let me vacuum. I'll vacuum the entire house for you. But I'll wait until the football game's over, honey. You watch that game. You sit back. Would you like another beer? They're auditioning for the gig. These chicks give great audition. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, they do. Some of you out there right now, you know, you're thinking about going to the mall and shopping for that ring because you just can't believe what a great girlfriend she is. You can't believe how good she is. And what you all don't realize is you're being snookered. She's auditioning. You know, in the radio business, we've got people. I don't want to mention any of them by name because they'd all sue me. But they know who they are. The people who had, like, 3 great moments on the air, and so they edit them together and make a demo tape out of it. And the people who are thinking about hiring these guys think that the show is like this every day. The person's really talented, really funny. My God, listen to those impressions that guy does. I'll bet he'll be funny every day of the week. Then you find out when the guy gets the job, you know, he's calling in sick all the time, that he's, you know, the guy's insane. Everybody else at the station hates him. But that tape was unbelievable. Now, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It could be anyone. There's just people like that. There are women like that. You just can't believe your good fortune. You are getting it 6 ways from Sunday. Daytime, nighttime. You're in airports. You're at the men's room at LAX and she's in the stall with you. You're in your driveway. Anywhere, anytime. She's up for it. And at home, a new recipe every night. Great food. The food is good and the sex is good. And she's always, you know, making you feel comfortable. Ooh, she's auditioning for the gig as Mrs. You. You've got a position open. Nobody is currently playing the part of Mrs. You. And she's auditioning to be Mrs. You. Excuse all the people whose last name is You out there, but seriously, she's auditioning to be Mrs. You. And you're dumb enough to think that once she gets you to sign your name on the contract, that this stuff's going to continue. You're dumb enough to believe that. Holy cow. How stupid can you be? Are you kidding me? It's like the used car salesman. Look at this beauty over here. Look at it, shining in the sun. Look at it. Beautiful. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of this baby. Then you're behind the wheel of that baby, and it breaks down the side of the road. It's like, hey, you know what? Let the buyer beware. These chicks, they're just great at auditioning. Great. Just amazing. So you could very well be with somebody who's just auditioning for the part, and you're so, you know, you're drowning in testosterone, and you're just out of breath from all the sex you're getting. And it's like, where do I sign? How do I sign up for this for life? Remember those record clubs they used to have? Do they still have those? Get 10 records for a penny. And you're thinking, this is fantastic. You checked off all the boxes. Yeah, I'd like Seals and Crofts, and I'd like Simon and Garfunkel. And I'd like Cat Stevens. And I'd like, what was that other? They're always the same bands. It was Columbia Record Club. Loggins and Messina. Right? Brewer and Shipley, one toke over the line. Yeah, they had one hit, but their CD or their album was always like one of the albums. So you'd order your 10 albums for a penny, and you thought you were the smartest guy in the room, right? The 10 albums would arrive, and you'd be going, look at me. I got 10 albums for a penny. That was until they started sending you 2 albums a month for $12.99 a piece. And you couldn't stop them. You would have to write in, and you'd have to spend a postage stamp to write and say, I don't want this month's selection. Then they tell you they didn't get your letter, and they would send you the albums anyway, and then you'd be spending half your life sending back albums you didn't want. That's what marriage is like. It's like the old Columbia Record Club. You thought they outlawed slavery in 1865. You had no idea. Seriously. Oh, my God. They're still in business as Columbia House. Is that true? Look at that. Now it's DVDs. How many DVDs do you get for a penny now? Same deal. Yeah, you go right ahead and sign up for that. You're one smart shopper. Book of the Month Club. Look at that. 5 books for $1. Wow. That's what's going on when these chicks are auditioning for the part of Mrs. U. Anyway, our telephone number here, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. We'll be joined later this hour by comedian D.L. Hughley, who we have not seen in a while. It'll be good to see him again. But in the meantime, your telephone calls Zach on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, good to be on with you.
I know.
Listen, I just want to put it out there. Marriage is not necessarily the beast that you make it out to be. I mean, I'm 37. I waited late in the game. I spent a good 15, 16 years trying to bag the whole world, and had a good run of it. But at a certain point, it starts to just wear thin. And if you really find the right person, I mean, it can work. I'm happily married. It's been 4 years, not 40. So. Maybe
fine. Somebody will win the big spin this weekend. It just probably won't be me. And it probably won't be the average person listening either.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, it's just you always seem to come from the viewpoint that it's just absolutely a bad thing.
No. I mean, again, somebody might win the lottery. Somebody might win the Irish sweepstakes. Somebody will win American Idol, okay? It's just not likely to be the vast majority of people who try.
Well, that I agree unequivocally.
And the thing is, sometimes
you wait,
you have to look at risk versus reward. The risks are so great, and the reward is so distant for most people. It doesn't make sense for most people to do it.
Agreed.
So just because you got lucky, son, doesn't mean that most people will.
Well,
and by the way, you have only been married for 4. You have only been married for 4 years. Let's see after 10 years.
True.
When she can take you to the cleaners permanently.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes. I can't predict the future, but it's just I think the real point I want to make is for guys. I mean, wait, go bag the world, and then when it's really right, if you're really
no,
sure
it's not. No. You're never really sure it's right. You know what? 100% of the people who get married are really sure it's right, and 50% of them are wrong.
But more than that.
No, about 50% get divorced. It is more than that because there's a number of people.
And the other 40 end up in an unhappy marriage. So
I don't know if it's the other 40, but that's my point.
Well, okay.
I mean, I personally, I'm not going to bag on the people who do. I personally don't buy lottery tickets. I could afford them, and imagine how much you could win. Personally, I would rather put the dollars that I save in a mutual fund and let it grow to a nice, small fortune rather than trying to win $170 million.
Well, understood.
Which I'm not likely to win.
Understood. I just wanted to be the voice of a male here that is not bagging on, that's not bagging.
But that's only because you are... Look, the people who win the lottery, are they bagging on the lottery?
No.
Did you ever see someone win the lottery and say, don't buy lottery tickets?
Yeah, you got me. I was coming on to go to spar with you, and you took the wind out of it. But
you're damn straight I did.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
In the industry I'm working in, I've been in it 2 years. I've already been promoted to the top of the level of where I can be after 2 years because I put that hard work in, and I didn't pay for everything. You know what I mean? I did it the way, the Tom Leykis way, the man way.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Angela on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good.
That's good. I'm really happy that someone picked up the phone finally.
What do you mean, finally?
Well, because I've been trying to call and I couldn't get through, and finally I did, which is wonderful.
It is.
Yes. Well, I just wanted to say my point because about the marriage thing, and I completely agree with you 110%, or maybe so 150%, because I used to be married, and it was a very, very horrible experience for me. Okay, and I really think that like right now I'm completely divorced, and that's true because after marriage, what will happen after that? Women always find something that they want something. Okay, and then what's next? Okay, first you get into a relationship. Okay, your boyfriends and girlfriends, and then the next thing she'll be expecting for a ring on her finger. And then after that, they're going to be expecting for marriage. And then what's going to happen after that? It seems like there's always the next big step to go. And I think the last step will always be a divorce. And then they will start all over again. Now, the problem that there is the one suffering in the divorce is actually the children, which is not really good for those young kids. Because, like, for example, right now, I'm 34 years old. I do have a relationship. I have a steady relationship with my boyfriend of 10 years. He's always pushing me to get into marriage. And I'm like, why even married when we're happy right now? Why even change something? Why make it horrible? Like right now we live in different houses. I have my own house. I have my cars. I can do whatever I want. I can go to the dermatologist. I can make myself look good. I can buy whatever I want. No one's stopping me from doing whatever I want. And the same thing with him. He doesn't have to worry about paying for the van so that our 10 kids, will be taken to baseball practice and stuff like that. So I really think that, marriage is something that's actually a deathbed for men. Okay, and that's all I have to say because I really think that it's not really the ultimate.
So those of us who are married just laying here waiting to die.
Exactly, and people calling you and saying that we are so completely happy with our marriage and we've been married for like 6 years. 6 years is not enough. Okay, my parents have been married for almost 60 years. Exaggerating, probably 45 years, and it was rough.
Well, 60 and 45 are two different amounts. Which is it?
I know. It's 45. I'm sorry.
45 is not almost 60.
I know. That's right. That's going to make me like 75 years old. Anyway, so, but the point is, I really think that they probably haven't gotten to the point where the realization is not there yet. You know what I mean? And eventually when they realize it and they get off this marriage, they will feel so great that they're finally free. Okay, of course it'll hurt in the beginning. They will say, "Oh my God, I miss her," and whatever, what have you. But then, I really think that that I'm sorry to say, but marriage is just not really the ultimate happiness thing that one can ever get. You know, you can be happy on your own, doing your own thing, making your own money, and no one's controlling you, you know, where you're going to be spending your money, and you can do whatever you want, and no one's going to stop you for that.
Right. I'm perfectly okay with that. The problem is when you live in the same house, let's get checks.
Oh, God, heck no. I can't even imagine myself living with my boyfriend in the same house.
Let's get a joint checking account with both our names on it.
There's just no way that I can share my house with somebody else. You know, I live in a 5-bedroom home, and I'm not even going to share my garage with him. There's just no way. You know, and I think he feels the same way too. He wants his space.
He's a lucky man.
Yeah, there are times, you know, when, you know, he would be like, oh, you know, and there was a time that he was really forcing me to get married. And I'm like, you know what? We're not on the same page. If you want to marry, find somebody else. That's just not me. Okay, I've been there. I've done that. It was horrible. It wasn't a very good experience for me. I'm happy right now, and I don't want to change anything.
I don't blame you, Angela. I thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Ced on the Tom Leykis Show. Is that short for Cedric?
Hello?
Oh, boy. Hello?
Hello?
You get 3 hellos, and then I hang up.
Hey, I'm here.
When do you plan to start talking?
Hey, this is Ted. Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Ted?
Yes.
Oh, with a T,
Yes.
not a C.
Yes.
All right. Our Italian screener put that your name was Ced with a C. He didn't seem to think there was anything weird about a name like Ced.
Hey, Tom.
So,
hey, I just wanted
maybe
to,
that's an Italian name, Ced.
I don't know. Hey, I just wanted to pick up a few callers back where you were telling that caller there's no benefit to a man getting married.
Yes.
And I think that the main benefit to getting married is for the family.
I'm not disagreeing that there's benefits specifically to the children, and there are benefits to the women, but there's no benefit to a man.
Right, but, like, the whole thing, like, me, I'm a selfish person, and I like, you know, I do my stuff, and I'm, you know, I don't care about other people, and being married and being in a committed relationship with my wife has, like, made me less selfish and, like, more loving. And
less selfish and more loving. Well, we'll find out how that works out for you if you get divorced.
Yeah, so it's been a good thing for me, and yeah, and like
no, it's been good for you so far, but in the end, if things don't work out, it's going to be good for her, but not you.
Yeah, but we've gone through a lot of fights already, and it's been nothing. Like, we make up, and we both have a commitment, and that.
Well, I personally don't like having fights. If someone wants to have fights with me, they're down. I have a zero tolerance for fighting, arguing, criticizing, and critiquing. Nagging, out. Zero.
Right. And then just the other thing, like you just already mentioned, I wanted to mention, like, you know, like the Virginia Tech and Columbine and even closer to home, the Oxnard shootings. You know, how those are all, in all those cases, you know, there's either been no parental attachment or there's been no family there. And, you know, just like, you know, we're hurting, you know, like you said, our divorce rate's like 50%.
Yeah, but it's 50% because I think marriage is a flawed institution.
Well, I think that's the only thing I did really disagree with you on then, because I think marriage and family is the best institution. It's happened all the way back from Adam and Eve. And it allows you
the times have changed. First of all, I don't even know that Adam and Eve ever existed.
Right. No,
times are different today than they were 2008 years ago. They're different.
No, I hear you. I used to be an atheist. I'm a Christian now. But, yeah, I think it's the best institution to foster love. And
I don't agree with that at all. It is an institution that fosters complacency. It fosters a feeling of entitlement. You can have love without marriage.
You're right, but that's because we can't make commitments today. We're like a fast food society. We can't make commitments.
Well, you can only deal with the society you're living in. Okay, if I were living, 1,000 years ago, maybe I'd have a different attitude about it. But I don't. I live in today's society, and today's society is what it is.
Yeah, but like I think I'm living a better life than other people. Like I'll never have as much money as power as you do, but you know I've got a loving wife and and I'm committed to that all my life, no matter how bad she gets.
Well, I don't have fights with anybody. I don't have anybody telling me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what I think.
So you don't have a better life than I have. You chose a different path, and you're happy with what you chose, and I'm happy with what I chose. But you can't tell me that that you're better than I am because you have a wife. Or because...
No, I'm not saying I'm better than you are. I'm saying if I could choose between money and power, I'd rather have the love. I'd rather give love and receive love. And that's what you do in a marriage. You give and then receive love, even when they turn out to be really not what you thought.
Well, again, I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Like everybody doesn't agree on that, okay? And but believe me, many people love me, but I don't have to pay them alimony if we stop talking.
Yeah. Well, again, I think as we raise America, as our generation is raising America, that's what I want to see. I want to see people who are married because that's what I've seen personally. Working with kids myself myself, I've been married 3 years. But, I think that's the best thing for us is to have that institution. I'd hate to see the state start raising our kids.
Well, first of all, what's happening is that single mothers are raising our kids.
Yeah.
And that's because women insist on having kids without a man around.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't like that either.
But by the same token, as a man, I don't want to be put in a position where the state can tell me how much money I have to pay somebody.
Yeah.
And that's the position you're in right now.
Yeah.
If for some reason your wife decides to leave you, reasons you can't envision right now, you will have to pay her. And the state's going to tell you how much.
Right. And with my wife, it's we had those vows, for better, for worse. And, so we're in that committed relationship. And things change. But, the more I would love to see us be more committed, America, committed to other people. And, if we make that commitment and it fosters that loving environment, even if you don't have kids, I'd even make an argument that would help out, a marriage relationship. Because, like, when I'm a jerk and my wife knows it and she forgives me, that's awesome,
I can be a jerk and I don't need forgiveness because I am not married.
Right. But I know I don't ever have to worry about...
I can be a jerk as much as I like, and I don't have to apologize to anyone.
Right, but we're talking, as far as the committed, being in a committed relationship for marriage. I'm talking about marriage and a family here.
I know what you're talking about.
So little Johnny's stable when he's growing up, and the wife knows that, even when she's getting some wrinkles, she's going to feel loved because she knows I'm committed to her. That's what I'm talking about.
I hear what you're talking about. But I'm telling you that even religious people get divorced. In fact, 82% of Americans believe in God. 50% of Americans get divorced. That means there's an awful lot of Christians who are getting divorced.
Yeah, the divorce rate for Christians is the same because we don't even know what commitment is.
Well, I don't know what you know. All I know is that getting married doesn't guarantee you anything except alimony and lifetime payments to somebody else.
Yeah, unless you have, a mutual commitment.
No, it still guarantees. It guarantees that if anything goes wrong, it guarantees you'll be paying. That's the only guarantee you have.
Yeah, it can, but it can also give the stability for that.
No, it does not give stability. Stability is given from yourself. A contract with the state where you live, in your case, California, does not guarantee you any stability. If it did, how would so many people be getting divorces? I would just say the same thing, just because they don't understand commitment. Like, no matter what. If two people say no matter what. But why do you need the state of California to tell you what a commitment is?
I wouldn't say it was so.
The state of California can't give you a driver's license without sending you all around the building.
I agree, but I'd say it's more important because you're doing it publicly before God and before man, and everybody knows that you've made that commitment. If it's just you and Jenny,
you can tell everybody, hey, I'm committed to my girlfriend here. We're committed.
Yeah.
You don't need the state of California getting involved. I don't need a smog check from the state of California, and I don't need a marriage certificate either.
Yeah. I would say it would need to be official, so it's public before man and God. But yeah, I don't see anything about that for the state of California.
Well, that's what makes it official. You go into the state of California, you went to the same building where you applied for a dog license, and you applied for a marriage license.
Yeah.
So you had to get the state of California to sign off on your marriage.
Yeah, actually, I went to Vegas, so I had
Fine, Governor Nevada. Don't be a brick. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
All right, Ted or Sed or whatever your name is, thank you for the call. Coming up next, we'll be joined by comedian D.L. Hughley. Stay right there.
Tom. Like this. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Do you have kids?
By design, I do not.
You don't?
By design,
By design?
yes.
What's that thing?
By dictionary. Stupid bitch.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
From Hollywood, it's the Tom Leykis Show. Thank you for tuning in. And joining us here in studio, D.L. Hughley. We have not seen D.L. in a while.
Man, working like, you know, I got to pay for that place in Solvang.
I did not know you were practically around the corner from me.
I am. I live right next door to the sheriff of Ventura County.
Really?
Of Santa Barbara County, yeah. The one who arrested Michael Jackson. Well, you know, you figure you live next door to the sheriff, your place is going to be fine. And people drive by, the black guy lives there. Well, and they know it ain't Michael Jackson because they would have said the beige dude lived there. But I dig it a lot, man. I dig it a lot.
It's great up there, isn't it?
I don't get up there as much. My wife and kids go out there a lot. We spend a lot of holidays out there. I don't get up there as much. And we have a wash where wild boar, you can't close it up because wild boar come through. Now, a brother from the city go outside and see a pig with tusks.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
And that looks like dinner to me, I'll tell you what.
Right. And then this, one of my neighbors, he hunts them with a knife. Like he hunts boar, like in Paso Robles.
Really?
Yeah. Like I guess
with a knife?
Yeah. I guess it's some things I'd never know about. You know what I mean?
You gotta have guts to do that. Those things are
a lot of
dangerous.
wine.
That's exactly right. Now, people don't know about you is you're a wine freak like
I am. I really am. Yeah.
In fact, we're sitting here drinking some Bordeaux right now.
Right. But you know, it's funny. You were telling me about how you'd gone to Burgundy and Beaune in France.
Yeah.
It's funny because now, and all the good food, now everything that's good for you, like tomatoes, you can't eat tomatoes. They're key.
I know.
It's a dude right now picking the tomatoes and spinach off a ham, cheese, and mayonnaise sandwich going, I better get this off of here to kill you.
Someone today made a drink for me with a raw egg in it, and they were like, you know, there's a raw egg in this. I said, oh, don't worry about it. They're going to put a tomato in it.
Yeah, all the good stuff. You know, if you die from eating tomatoes, you're at home going, damn, I should have had the pig feet.
So how you doing?
I'm wonderful. Man.
You're everywhere. Of course, the only place I see you is on television. I never see you here anymore. You're always on TV.
My kids say the same thing. I've been working a lot, man, and it was I'm really having a good time. After Studio 60 went off, it was just, and then the strike. The strike taught me a valuable lesson, and it's that you rely on yourself and not studios. Because you never know what's going to be in vogue and what's out of vogue. So being in, ironically, I've been everywhere there's been a primary. Everywhere there's been a Democratic primary.
Really?
I was in South Dakota. Any black people in South Dakota is in the witness protection program. Just tell them you're an Indian that's dark. But I was in West Virginia, and you know it's funny because I was in Puerto Rico when they had the primaries. I like both of them, her and him. But the race was taking a toll on her. She started to look old, man. At one point, she started to look like Willie Nelson. I was like,
well, that's what starts happening.
Damn. Yeah, you know, yeah.
I mean, look at Clinton. You ever? Lately they've been showing like old footage of Clinton.
Yeah.
You know, because I guess they've been showing a lot of presidential video lately,
right.
And Clinton looked completely different.
He actually looked like he's wearing a powdered wig.
That's right.
He looks like Thomas Jefferson now.
Yeah, and so, Bush the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they know stuff we don't know, stuff that if it doesn't curl your hair, it's turning it gray.
Right,
There's just no doubt about it.
And they look old fast, like 2 years in, they look. And, you know, I just say this. How bad a president are you when the country goes, we're going to try the black guy next? We're going to try the black dude. I don't even know.
Well, that's what I said. How much does America hate women?
Right.
Well, they're actually going to try the black guy.
Right.
That's how much.
I think, America is so funny because apparently Obama's having a hard time connecting with the rural Democrats because for whatever reason, whatever they grow stuff, they don't like black people, which I don't understand because at one point farmers loved us. They couldn't get it done without us. Apparently they miss us. But it's so funny that we are we're making a historical choice. I never thought would happen, and it's a great time for a comedian.
Tell us why.
Why it's a great time for a comedian? I mean, just look up and this politician in New York who had to resign. Elliot Spitzer had to resign just because he hired a hooker. Who knew that was illegal? But this dude wrote a check for a hooker. Now, I've never been governor, but I have hired a hoe or two, and you don't write checks for them. I mean, that's a cash and carry business right there. And what is that, Sunshine with a C or S? And then they replaced him with David Patterson, who's black, blind, admitted he did has affairs with several women and did cocaine.
And his wife did too?
Yeah, so they messed around and hired Ray Charles.
They got it right out of the way at the beginning. I just want to tell you, before we get started.
Because when you black and blind, you can get away with anything. You mean that wasn't my wife? I'm as shocked as you are. This CNI dog ain't worth a damn. And then you had, Larry Craig, the senator from Idaho, got caught in the bathroom.
Oh, that was the best.
On the floor for gay sex. Who knew that was a sign for gay sex? But I will never go to the bathroom with an iPod again as long as I live. What happens when you tap your foot on the floor, Tom? Does a big penis come out the ceiling like an oxygen mask? What happens? Who knows? So it's a great time.
Not gonna stick my foot under the stall, I'll tell you that.
I got a wide stance.
Exactly.
Wow, if your stance was as narrow as your views, you'd have never gotten in trouble, man. And then you got everybody's rushing to get married. Like, it's always funny because whenever there's a political season, gay marriage seems to rear up. Now, and it's if you want to get married, I don't understand why that's a political issue, and I think that it's just so funny to live in a country that gets so easily preoccupied. So it's very interesting, very great time to be a comedian.
We have a very short attention span. That's the way it is.
Right.
So, the minute they'll start talking about flag burning or gay marriage, these same stupid issues, when they got nothing to say about what's really going on.
Right.
I mean, look, Cedar Rapids, Iowa is under 6 feet of water right now.
Right.
So let's talk about gay marriage.
Right. Can't the gay swim? Can they swim? You can't even buy more than 2 bags of rice. Now, there are apparently food shortages. I will say this, that when black people was in the field, we never ran out of anything. Our Mexican brothers and sisters got to get on the stick now. It's their turn. It's your turn now. Ante up, damn it. And I love going to Napa, though. I really do. I think you like French wine, but I think California.
No, well, most of my cellar is California wine.
I was going to say, most of my cellar is a bottle of California. And I go there with my wife, and they're like, well, we grow the Chardonnay grape. And they're very snobby people. Like, we grow the Chardonnay grape. We go to Cabernet grape. I'm like, man, if you grow stuff, you're a farmer.
That's right.
You are.
That's exactly right. By the way, if you talk to most of those winemakers, they'll tell you, I'm nothing more than a farmer.
Right.
They'll tell you, but the magazines make them into these big superstars. And then, like, there's these guys, they grow grapes, they stand out in the sun from 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what they do.
Let me see, grapes, jelly, or raisins? What's going to sell? And then you go to these restaurants, and I love restaurants, I do, but one of the things about the higher the restaurant, the more garnish they have on your plate, like parsley.
Yes.
I said, dude, why you got parsley on my plate? It's a decoration to make your plate look pretty. Wouldn't the extra shrimp make my plate look even better? you want my plate make my plate look good? Put an extra wing on there.
Couple of rare slices of Kobe beef and make it look really good.
Right. I just had you know what I've never had in my life, ever? 2 things I've never had in my life that I had for New York the first time.
What's that?
I had veal. Never had veal.
Really?
Yeah, because people make you feel bad. You eating veal, it never wakes up, and it never gets to see light, and I was like, and I felt bad.
I prefer cows because they get slaughtered, but they have a little time in the sun before they get killed.
Right. And Kobe, they sing to him, and then they shoot him in the head.
Right. They give him a little beer and massage him to death. That's what they do.
It's like being in a trailer park.
That's right. Exactly.
But I had never had that, and I had never had a ribeye.
Really?
No, never. I always a filet. I never had a ribeye. But I'm telling you, and people tell you red meat is bad for you, but that's the way to go, man.
Absolutely.
That's the way to go.
Well, especially if you like red wine, like you do, I do. What else goes with red wine better than red meat, red dripping,
a steak, some wine, and a hot chick? You got a weekend.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I told you I playing a gig out in what did I say? Pismo Beach. So I'm gonna drive down, and if you're in town that weekend, I'll come by. We'll go to dinner because I'm telling you, I'm right in Solvang.
I will take you for the best prime rib you ever had. You've had prime rib, I think.
Yeah, I've had prime rib.
Prime rib, Maddie's Tavern, the best you ever had.
Okay, now I'm gonna keep you to that because Lowry's is a pretty good prime rib.
Lowry's is a very good prime rib. Maddie's Tavern is the best you ever had.
And you know what I had that? See, because that's my thing now. I'm going around the country and I'm trying to try stuff. I had marrow.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I'm not a marrow
beefy
fan.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like, and you said you charged me all this for that? It cost so much an ounce. I was like, what's in here? Cocaine? What is in here?
Well, that's like sweetbreads. Yeah. Sweetbreads, you think they're going to be like, cookies or crackers or biscuits. Or sweetbreads are brains. Yeah. They're brains.
Yeah. And my thing is, I don't want to be one of them dudes who like go to places and eat the same thing all the time. Which so now I'm just trying to, eat whatever it sounds like. Like I'll make the waiter pick a good thing and go with it. I don't let them pick wine no more because I went to that place, the French Laundry. Me and my wife went to the French Laundry, and I let my wife, showing off for my wife, I let the dude pick what is the guy's name? The wine guy?
Oh, the concierge, not the concierge. Sommelier.
Yeah. I let him pick all the wine. End of the night, it was $1,800.
But they picked the good stuff, right?
I don't care what they picked for $1,800. I was about to whip his ass. And then they let me back in the kitchen where they were like $1,800 because they picked, the wine to have courses. And they kept coming out, this would be great. And I'm like, sure, yeah, baby, you want that? And by the end of the night, it was $1,800. I started to sell her. You can have her.
For $1,800, you just bought the kitchen.
Right, man. It was
kidding me.
So I'd never do that again. But I'm telling you, life is all about, I think, having a great cigar, good glass of wine.
Absolutely.
Nice, woman and ride.
That's it.
I was going to say wife, but that would have been redundant.
Now, we better get this in while we have time. D.L. Hughley is going to be tonight and tomorrow night at the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, which is a great venue.
It is a great venue.
Great venue.
I dig it.
And, the South Bay is a great place to hang out in the evening. And summertime, this is the time to be there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It is. I mean, you know what? It's so cool to be able to play places that are, like, I grew up going to Hermosa Beach and Redondo Beach. One of my favorite restaurants used to be Tony's on the Pier.
Oh, Tony's on the Pier?
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time. But it's just, people, you go all over the world, you go all over the country, and you see a lot of things. Nothing is like Southern California.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. You can say whatever you want.
No.
About New York, you can say whatever you want. Great cities, Miami, great city, but the best city in the country, the best place in the country is Southern California.
Do you miss it when you're gone?
Absolutely. Not till about the fourth day.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Damn.
I understand. When I was in Burgundy, I didn't miss it for a few days.
Right.
Eventually, though, I did start to miss it. Right. That's going to be tonight and tomorrow night. D.L. Hughley at the Comedy and Magic Club at Hermosa Beach. If you want to make a reservation to see him, you should call 310-372-1193. It's 310-372-1193. And you're going to be hosting the BET Awards.
I'm hosting the BET Awards. I'm really excited. We're close to doing a show with HBO. I'm excited about that. So it's going pretty good. I'm having a good time, man.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It is always great to see you.
Good to see you too, man. So I'm telling you, next week
I'm in.
I'm coming by.
I'm here.
I'm storming the wine cellar.
Come on,
everything
now.
I can't pronounce getting poured.
We always put the good stuff out for you.
If it say Ripple, I'm leaving it.
I understand. D.L. Hughley, see him today at the Comedy and Magic Club. The Tom Leykis Show. Write us Tom at blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.